and welcome to episode 27 of Diggs Sideline Podcast. As always, we are your hosts. I am Sam DeCosmo.
And I'm Daniil Hunter, the youngest player to reach 50 sacks by the age of 25.
Good on you. Good on you, Daniil. But that was incredible. He just, and they all came in the first half.
I know,
too.
all three of them. Yeah.
I think like by the second half, he was just like,
I have one quick concern. Okay, I love kicking down that imaginary barn door that they're kicking down.
He's gonna tear an ACL.
For the love of God,
please
stop!
Don't. I know,
and then Griffin's getting in on it. Bard, Kendricks. I'm like, guys, we can't.
Our whole defense in one celebration.
Oh yeah, but no, my name is
concerning.
Patrick Maloney. I'm not Daniil Hunter. But hey, it wasn't necessarily a big win. It was a big win in the sense that it was a division rival. You know, and we have struggled against backup quarterbacks.
You know what was big for us?
What's that?
Was that our defense finally showed up to a game.
They did.
You know, for the longest time, the Minnesota Vikings have been leaning on the defense, and this whole year we've had to lean on the offense, and finally the defense showed back up, and the offense, you know, they showed up for sure. They didn't have to win us the game, but it was pretty. I liked what I saw. We almost had a shutout.
So here's what I want to say. Okay, so I know we played a backup quarterback, right? No disrespect to him, but guess who didn't play much?
Who's that?
Xavier Rhodes.
Yes, so I saw that, and I saw Mike Hughes.
Yes,
in.
yeah.
I saw a sweet pass breakup. I think it was on Marvin Jones.
Yeah,
and I was like, wow, and I was like, Mike Hughes.
Guess what, Sam?
What?
Mike Zimmer listens to Diggs Sideline Podcast. We've been saying it, man.
Every year.
Yeah, we've been saying it, you know. And I only saw Rhodes in when there was 3 wide receiver sets, so he did play.
Right,
he did play.
Do you think that had to just be a coach's decision, right?
I think it was the outburst that he had against Seattle, and he apologized for it. But I also think his play has just been poor.
Yeah,
and it's
absolutely.
I'm
been
surprised.
Burned. Yeah.
I'm surprised. I didn't know Mike Zimmer had a pair of balls.
Yeah,
bench your starting. Yeah. You know, safety. Or, quarterback who's getting paid the most, and he's been around for a while. You know what I mean?
He's your number one back.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just it. Is stuff like this isn't going to fly. You can't be having outbursts. You can't be getting beat like you stole something.
Yeah.
You know, like.
And you could argue that there's been a few games that we could have won had Rhodes not, you know, maybe held or, you know, did something like that. But anyways, it was a huge change, and I was shocked to see it.
I know, and I thought Mike Hughes played very admirably.
100%.
You know who else played very admirably?
Who's that?
Andrew Sendejo.
Dude. So I actually
the game clinching interception.
So I actually didn't see that. I think I had to leave the house right before that, and I just remember
seeing. He's your favorite player, and he's bleached his hair all completely white.
Did he?
Yeah, it looks so stupid.
Is that what I'm supposed to do too if we go to the playoffs? You know what? Here's where I did laugh when I saw Sendejo. I just saw him on the punt coverage team when he's back by the punter. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, that's your role, buddy. But glad to see you picked off a ball.
Yeah, he picked off a ball.
Okay, so I got to look back into it. Was it anything special?
I think it was a deep ball. They're taking it. It was in the end zone.
Oh, okay. It's just like a last heave type thing.
Yeah, I mean, they were just trying to get some points. Even if they got a touchdown on that, they wouldn't have had a chance to get back into the game.
Yeah.
But
well, good job, Sendejo. I'm proud of you, buddy.
So Detroit, they are a tough team. I didn't realize that Hawkinson was going to be out.
Oh,
for that game.
Now that you mentioned it, I did not hear his name called. They had the guy from Pittsburgh, Jesse James. He was from Pittsburgh. Yep.
So Jesse James is in, but this Bo Scarborough guy. Came out of Alabama.
Yep.
They were saying that they said it a few times. He was on like 4 different teams last year because he just kept getting cut.
Yeah.
He said, I was just watching Netflix and Detroit gave me a call.
I mean, what else do they do?
But I mean, he did all right. It was very clear that he was their workhorse from this point on. 19 carries, 65 yards, and that's just because he only averaged 3.4. And I think he would have done better if we didn't get blown up last week by Seattle.
Sure.
I thought he did all right.
So I have one more observation about how our defense started the game. And on the very, very first play, Harrison Smith choked up and came right at Blau.
I saw that play, and I had the exact same thought as you. Zimmer listens to the Diggs Sideline Podcast.
You know, if we don't start getting a bit of that contract, then, we deserve something. We're going to be suing.
Oh, man. Oh, and it was so funny. So I was watching the game. I was coming back from drill, so I wasn't watching it live. But I was watching the recording, and I hadn't seen what had happened yet or anything like that. And there was we were in some It was, I forget what situation. Maybe it was like 2nd and 5 or whatever. I'm like, all right, here we go. Deep shot to Diggs. I think it was still 0-0. And sure enough, boom, deep shot to Diggs. And I looked at my wife and I'm like, I am a football savant.
I am your God.
She's like, Sam, this already happened. And I'm like, yeah, but I didn't know it was going to happen.
Yeah, right. That's funny. Yeah. So, yeah, anything like any other glaring initial thoughts before I kind of say what I wanted to say?
Well, so I think I want to take a look at our rushing.
Okay.
So Dalvin Cook, he was injured last week in Seattle.
Load management for sure.
I mean, he had 18 carries compared to Alexander Madison's 14.
Which, can we talk about that hurdle?
Oh my God.
So that was on a screen, but regardless,
that was incredible.
This guy amazes me every week.
And I think Zim said it a few weeks ago. He said, whether it's Dalvin or Madison in there, he goes, I don't have a lick. There's no faith that leaves my body.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't even think he knows which one's in. But
so Dalvin averaged 3.4, Madison averaged 3.3, and I was a little surprised because I feel like every other time they were getting the ball, they were busting it for 9, and then they would get 1 or something like that. So I guess maybe it does shake out. But they had some really freaking good runs yesterday.
Right.
I was really happy with that. I was also happy Stephon got fed.
He did.
6 receptions on 9 targets, 92 yards.
So I have another play I want to talk about. This was the one. It was a rollout, a PA boot, and Cousins was getting. This guy was about to deck him, and he just zipped it in there to Diggs on the sideline.
Yes, I love that.
And that was just the accuracy of that was phenomenal.
The guy who's calling the game yesterday, Chris Spielman, is Rick Spielman's brother, and he said, that's not an easy throw to make, especially when you're about to get hit and putting that much zip on it. So it kind of reminds me of this other thing that I think I texted it to you. So during the Packers game, Aaron Rodgers was under no pressure and he threw the ball 4 yards to as running back in the flat, and the commentators were like, "Oh, no other quarterback in the NFL could make that throw." It's like,
that's what they literally said.
It was unbelievable. Any quarterback can make that throw.
Sam,
Kyler Murray can make that throw.
I don't even have a reaction to that anymore. I'm not dead inside, but I'm not fazed by what people are saying about him anymore.
It's just hilarious.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
CJ Ham had a killer reception.
Hey, he had another reception. Yeah.
He had a big catch and run for 25 yards. Mr. Laquan Treadwell.
Yes, we had another Laquan Treadwell
making his name heard. I love it. BC in the end zone.
Yes. Thank you for bringing that up. Yo, that was a high throw, and BC came down. And
I know.
So here's what I wanted to say. First, he went up and got it, and then it was pushed on his way down, held on, and his head absolutely rocked the turf. But for him to hold on to that was just phenomenal.
And they had mentioned that they're like, with Adam Thielen out, BC Johnson's getting all these looks and opportunities. Yeah. And I thought to myself, Adam Thielen's out. But so is Chad Beebe. You got to remember.
Beebe's been out too, yeah.
You got to remember that BC Johnson came in here as our WR4.
Right.
So he is definitely earning his paycheck. And
100%.
I freaking love it. Garrett Bradbury.
I was going to say that just now. I was literally about to say that.
That play was scary.
Hey, Bradbury, man, -4 yards. Love it, dude. You're doing work.
You know what? He saved the day on that one. So I'll give it to him.
So while we won the game, Sam, I'm going to be honest. I was not impressed with how they played.
Okay.
Now you got to ask me why.
Why?
Because this was just a classic, we kind of knew we were going to beat them. And then the second half, it was just this, okay, well, this has been a fun game. Let's just kind of lollygag our way through 2 more quarters.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What do you mean or what I'm talking about?
What are you talking about, Pat?
Dude,
our defense shut them out until the very last minute of the game.
Sam, what I'm saying is I hate that there's this lack of urgency. I don't care who we play. I don't care.
Are you saying that you don't think that the Minnesota Vikings played well?
No.
Or the offense or the defense?
I'm saying how the offensive game plan was in the second half.
You can't say a lack of anything against the defense. Because the defense very narrowly almost had a shutout.
Thank you for correcting me, because I always listen to this back and I'm like, that's not how I wanted that to come out.
Okay.
But yeah, so I want to talk about specifically the offense in the second half.
Okay.
Because they just went into full-blown, okay, well, game's over. Let's just kind of run our way through this. You know what I mean? But here's my critique about it, Sam. Here's my critique. The Lamar Jacksons, the Ravens, the Niners of the league, the Saints are no matter who they're playing, they are still going all out like the game like the game's tied at half.
Sure. No, I know what you're saying. I just think it's a different philosophy. So hear me out.
We'll never win in games that matter if you think like that.
Listen, we were up 17-0 at half, and we had eventually made it 20-0 by the middle of the fourth quarter. But we ran the ball 39 times. Being up 17-0 at half when your defense is playing lights out, they're playing shutdown. At that point, you're saying, "Hey, let's just take this thing home."
Sam.
Let's shorten the game. And that's what Zimmer does. When you play a defensive game, you want to run the ball so you shorten the game.
So I understand that. It makes sense. From like a pure analytical, this is how the game of football is supposed to be played. When you're up 20-0, this is what you do. I'm saying grab that piece of paper, chew it up a little bit, and then shove it up your butt. Because you know what? I just want full-blown urgency. I want this game to be 42-0. I want just like keep it going. It's December football. Don't get into this pattern where if we are up on the Saints 20-0 in the wildcard game, whoever we're playing, I don't want us to have this mentality of, hey, let's just sit back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I want the foot on the gas pedal the whole game.
I see what you're saying. I don't even think Detroit was really trying that hard yesterday, especially.
I don't care. I'm just hearing excuses again.
No. What I'm saying is Detroit didn't stop running the ball either. It's just I think at halftime both teams kind of knew how the day was going to go, and they both just accepted it.
I also want to say one thing.
I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or different.
Right. I want to say one more thing. And the reason why I feel and I'm saying what I am saying is because this is how Viking games are played year in and year out. This is like a snowball, and I'm sitting here with the biggest snowball, and here we are hitting the playoffs, and then it's gonna tumble down again.
Well, and it looks like we might have a very difficult time in the playoffs.
Yeah. Should we dive right into that? Is there anything else you want to talk about the Lions game?
I don't think there's anything left to talk about.
I got nothing left.
Yeah.
We won. Good.
Let's talk about the playoff picture. So
hit us with the current playoff picture.
The current NFC playoff picture. The 49ers took the first seed yesterday, and it was in an amazing fashion.
What a game!
Oh my gosh! I didn't know how that game ended. I didn't check the scores all day because I didn't want to get spoiled for the Vikings game. And I saw that there was going to be bonus coverage after the Vikings game for the 49ers Saints. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll stick around and watch that. And the Saints get a touchdown with like a minute to go ahead. And the 49ers looked like they were stalling out. And then all of a sudden, this huge play to George Kittle, and I'm like,
the guy's got his face mask, and he's just going all the way down.
And he's just like beating him while he's holding on to the.
And then when the play ends, his like face mask is like halfway up his face, and it's like, Sam, that's what I want, man. Hey, but no, I got something to quick say. Boy, is Drew Brees looking real freaking old. Looking real old right now, throwing 5 TDs, 349 yards.
Hey.
Yeah?
Who won the game?
Who won the game?
Who won the game, Pat? No. Before you say anything, tell me who won the game.
The Saints defense lost the game. Because just like Kirk Cousins doesn't give up 37 points against Seattle, neither did Drew Brees.
I will say, Drew Brees.
And I do want to say, I have had people mention to me that you are a little out of line with your Brees comments.
No, look. Drew Brees 5 years ago, very, very talented.
I'm not going to do this again. I would still take him today over majority of the league.
I think Michael Thomas is padding his stats because Michael Thomas is incredible. Tell me the last time a wide receiver was in the MVP conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably not since Randy Moss.
Maybe
all the way back in Randy Moss.
Yeah.
Oh, even with the Patriots is what I'm talking about. Yeah. When he was with the Patriots.
So
that's fine. But what I'm saying is, you still have to have a good arm, and you still have to have the mentality, the mental fortitude to analyze. And
you're seeing it with Tom Brady right now. He doesn't trust any of his other wide receivers, so he's trying to force the ball to Edelman.
No, he's the biggest system quarterback that we've ever seen in the entire NFL, CFL, any European leagues, everything.
You're saying Tom Brady is a system quarterback?
Yes. Are you kidding me, dude? The guy's not without Gronk. He doesn't have Josh Gordon.
I want the fans to know, because if the fans are going to give me flack over this whole Drew Brees thing,
please.
I want them to hear that you feel the same way about Tom Brady.
Okay. No,
who is widely regarded as the greatest of all time.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. No, this is great. I'm gonna flourish in this.
Yeah.
Tom Brady is your classic system quarterback. You slip anyone in there. Matt Castle, the year that Brady did go down, guess how well Matt Castle and the Patriots did? He did pretty well, right? Jacoby Brissett's coming out of New England,
too. Look
that does
those videos that says, look at this pass by Tom Brady. This pass is amazing. Look,
it's just like
he throws it 4 yards to a wide open running back. But I see where you're coming from, but
I will say he does not have the pieces around him. That's fair.
Yeah, I mean,
I will give you that.
I want to pull up their stat line because I want to see how many of those receptions went to Michael Thomas, because I think Michael Thomas is really helping him along in his old age.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying that I would still gladly take Drew Brees right now over a majority of the league.
Over a majority of the league.
Yes, and we're not going to get into it because we've already kind of had this discussion in prior episodes, and there's a lot more to go into. We just touched base with the Niners here being the 1 seed.
Hold on. I just pulled up their stat line. Michael Thomas had 11 receptions on 15 targets. The next most highest person targeted was Ted Ginn and Alvin Kamara, both with 6. And they each respectively had 4 receptions. So Michael Thomas is like the only offensive piece they have right now. He had more than double. He had about triple the targets, and he had more than double, and he had almost triple the receptions.
Yeah, he is good. Obviously, he got paid.
I'm saying it's all Michael Thomas.
It is not all Michael Thomas.
All Michael Thomas.
It's not. You still suck. Forget it. No, we're done with this.
All right. So in the number 2 seed in the NFC is none other than the Green Bay Packers.
I had a Packer friend send me a screenshot of that. He didn't say anything. He just sent me the picture, and I didn't realize it at the time. I literally burst out laughing. I was laughing that they're sitting at the 2 seed with this pathetic team that they have put together.
They almost lost to the Washington Redskins.
I was hoping you weren't going to say that, because we didn't necessarily do the greatest against them either.
But you know what? They didn't cover the spread. Yeah, it was a pretty big spread, but they lost by 5. They almost did lose, and we never almost lost that game. They almost
That's
lost
fair.
that game.
No, that is fair, because if the Redskins hadn't missed the extra point, which
they missed an extra point and a kick.
I think I'm ready to stop watching football if players keep missing extra points.
Well, I mean, that's the whole point of moving it back.
I know,
but so it's not a gimme. I want to see more teams go for 2, like the Steelers.
And you know what? Dwayne Haskins played like garbage.
Yeah,
there was a couple plays that I was watching, because I had our game on the big screen there, and then on my phone I was watching on Reddit for free illegally.
Yeah.
Come at me, NFL. And there was multiple plays.
Don't come at us.
Please don't come at us. Multiple plays where he just didn't go through his reads properly. He panicked, and
he's a rookie.
And I'll give him credit to Green Bay for pressuring him.
And you know what? I think I was listening to Ty Schmidt on the Pat McAfee show. He's their resident Packer fan.
Yeah.
And by the sounds of it sounds like Packer fans are frustrated that they run up the score early. They on their first 2 or 3 drives, they'll get up 14 points, and they'll do exactly what you were complaining about.
That's what I'm talking about.
They'll just sit stagnant and just try to not lose.
I sympathize with whoever it is you were just talking about. Yeah, I completely sympathize with that.
I don't think that they're a great team. He pulled out some stats from last year, and they're like yards per attempt, average yards per play. It's all pretty much the same to their season last year, where I believe they had a losing season last year.
Right.
So it just so happens to be that they're playing the teams that they're playing.
And so I want to quick touch base with what you had mentioned last week about rooting for the Bears.
Yes.
Okay. So now, Sam, here's where your little sick voodoo magic that you wanted is going to kind of come into play.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
So, okay, if the Bears come out and win this game,
dude, how insane
I don't know what I can offer you.
Packers are 4.5-point favorites in Lambeau Field. So
as they should be.
It'll be a pretty close game.
Yeah, as they should be. But, dude, if what you're doing here, the little magic, you're playing this little puppet game right now, and the Packers do lose this game, I owe you this season,
dude. So for fans who don't know, I was rooting for the Bears against the Dallas Cowboys, and the reason being was because I wanted them to still remain in playoff contention with high hopes that they can get there, so that they're extremely motivated to play against the Packers this week, because we need the Packers to lose. Not only do we need them to lose, but we need them to lose a divisional game.
Right.
And so if it's going to be any team, it's going to be that. In addition to us beating them, because we need to be so we have 2 divisional losses. We need the Packers to have 2 divisional losses.
So yeah, and then my counter argument was, well, the Bears are kind of nipping at our butt, and so are the Rams. They won 2. You know what I mean? So
I'm more worried about the Rams than the Bears. So so after the Packers, I think the Bears play the 49ers and us. Right, so I don't think they're going to win either of those games.
Sure.
So the hope is that the Bears go into Lambeau Field and they put a walloping.
And that's a noon game. So we get to watch that before we play the Chargers in LA.
So then we play the Chargers. And then if the Packers lose and the Vikings win, which it's not a gimme, the Chargers just walloped the Jacksonville. They put up 45 points.
Right.
So it's not a gimme by any means.
Any given Sunday.
Well, we'll talk about that on the next episode of Dig Sideline Podcast. But anyway, so then the Packers will be 10-4 if they lose, and the Vikings will be 10-4
when they lose.
When they lose,
Packers are losing,
and the Vikings will be 10-4 when they win. So tied record. So let's go into the divisional tiebreakers.
It just gets juicier and juicier.
Because I want our fans and our listeners to know how far down this rabbit hole goes. So the divisional tiebreakers are head-to-head wins and losses. So we've lost to the Green Bay Packers, and we are going to beat them on December 23rd. So that will be a wash, right? So that'll be tied. So you got to go to the next level. Best won-loss tied percentage games played within the division. If the Bears beat them and then we beat them, we'll each have 2 division losses and 4 division wins. So that will be a wash. The next is the best won-loss tied percentage in common games. So the games that we've played that are common to them. The only thing that we need to care about is Green Bay's loss. So they've lost to the Eagles, and who else have they lost to? They lost to the Chargers, who were playing. So that would put us up 2 games to them on that.
And the Niners.
And then, we don't play the Niners, so this is only
common games.
This is only common games.
Yep.
Now the Vikings have also played and lost to the Kansas City Chiefs, who the Packers won. So that puts us up on +1 on common teams. So we would be in the lead of the NFC North based on common games won and lost.
Right.
So if everything kind of shakes out, that puts us in the driver's seat, and then all we need to do, Pat, is win out.
It's just.
And then all we need to, which that whole everything I went through is predicated on us winning out anyway, because we would need to play the Packers after the Chargers,
right? And
then we'd need to play the Bears, a divisional game, which would bring us back to the second issue with the tiebreakers. So the whole argument is predicated on us winning out, but if the Bears can pull out a win and we can win out, then
right. So
then the
one
ours.
observation I'll make is if the season was to end today, I am not too fond of us having to play the Saints and then go to Niner Nation. And the Packers just have to wait for the Seahawks to beat the Cowboys and
let's
play them at home. That's what I don't like is that the Packers will be at home.
Let's back up then. So if we get put into the driver's seat of the NFC North, and the Packers are currently in the driver's seat of the NFC North, they're the number 2 seed.
Right.
If this situation were to happen, that puts us in the number 2 seed with an opportunity to have the first round bye.
Don't get me excited. Don't. I'm asking you to stop right now. I've had my dreams and hopes crushed too many times at my young age.
But you're right. No, I mean, we would, as it stands today, if the playoffs were to start today, the Saints would play a road game in New Orleans, and we play a road game.
Here's what I have
in
to
San
do.
Francisco,
here's what I do have to say,
which is definitely the hard route.
And I have a feeling you won't disagree with me. I'm not saying we can't beat them, but I'm saying we will have a very, very difficult time going into New Orleans and in San Francisco and playing 2 playoff road games.
Yeah. No.
Given our history on the road, if there's anything that we can do for ourselves, aside from having a freaking Super Bowl in Minnesota and blowing that once in a lifetime opportunity to have a Super Bowl at home, this is another opportunity where we need to. I did. We need to get that 2 spot. If there's anything we can do.
It's interesting because you look at the other side of the NFC playoff picture, and you have the Cowboys, who are a joke, the Seahawks, who looked like a joke last night.
Yeah, they did.
And then the Green Bay Packers, who I still believe are a shell of who everybody thinks they are.
100%.
The Rams looked lights out last night against the Seahawks, and that's worrisome because they're 1 game behind us.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And they could very easily catch us. Now they have some hard games coming up. They play the Seahawks again, I believe, and they also play the 49ers and they play the Cardinals. So I mean, they'll win. They'll probably win at least 2 more of those games.
Right.
So the Rams are going to end 10-6.
I think I was telling you guys, I don't remember the last time I felt like the NFC North was this tightly packed.
NFC North or NFC?
And the NFC conference.
Yeah.
I really don't. I'd have to look back. Maybe it's just because we haven't been as competitive, every year. But
it's tight. I mean,
this is tight.
Between the 1 seed and the 6 seed is only 2 games.
Think about this.
Now, granted, you have the Cowboys sitting there at the 4 seed with a 5-game separation.
I will say the further we get into the season, I know last week we talked about it, and I was like, oh, that's how it is. But it's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
It's actually fairly annoying that they're sitting at 6 and 7 comfortably in that 4th spot with a home
losing
game
record.
Yeah, with a home game in their hands.
The Eagles have the opportunity to take control of that division.
So here's what I wanted to argue or counter argue last week when we were discussing this. So here's my point. Do you remember when the Seattle Seahawks played the Saints and they were like, they had a losing record, or they were 8-8, and Marshawn Lynch went complete beast mode, and was throwing people aside, and they did the whole, hold my, So I'm saying, any given Sunday. So just because they're sitting at, 6 and whatever they do finish if it's a losing record, there's still a chance they can win,
right?
know. But
man.
Anyways,
so looking into the next coming week, so there's going to be some big games. So we play the Chargers in Los Angeles. It'll be our last road game. And by the way, the Patriots lost last night at home. So the Vikings
are the point that I wanted to make too.
The Vikings are the only team left in the NFL that are undefeated at home. So that's going to be important. We talked about the Bears and the Packers. Next week we also have the Rams and the Cowboys. So that'll be huge. I think the Rams. I mean the Rams are going to win that game, right?
Nope. Cowboys are.
Oh my gosh! Stop. And then the Seahawks. Where are the Seahawks at? We have the Niners at the Falcons, so the Niners will win that game. The Seahawks. Where are the friggin' Seahawks?
That's okay. We'll get into it next episode. Deeper.
Yeah.
A deeper dive. But
the Seahawks play the Panthers next week.
Get the Seahawks win there.
So, and then the week after that, it gets even more intense here.
I say next week for the podcast there, we should do a little score predictions for all the big matchups that we're keeping an eye on.
The week after that, week 15, Vikings Packers, or week 16, Vikings Packers.
I looked at Monday Night Football tickets just for kicks and giggles. Oh, you know what I want?
How much are they?
Lower bowl was $500 easy, $500. And then
seat.
A seat, and nosebleed was like $342, $350.
Unbelievable.
Here's what I wanted to text you though, and I think I had it ready, and then I got busy and I didn't hit send on it. But dude, we just gotta buy tickets at the start of the year. This end of the year Packer game. I don't care if it's on the road or at home. And
we just got to do it.
We just got to buy it.
We just got to do it. Hey, we have a podcast now. We
no
can
one's
write it off.
sponsoring us yet. Yeah, we can write it off. Write it off.
But no, that same week. So the Bears play the Chiefs that same week. I think that they lose that game, right?
Yeah,
so
the Bears. Yeah,
the Bears. They really aren't a competitor for us. And the Rams play the 49ers, which is actually going to have huge implications to where the Vikings are going to stand.
Right.
Come playoff time. Whether it's maybe we want the Rams to win that game.
Dude, I think every week we're going to be rooting for a team we didn't the week before. That's how this is going to
exactly.
be.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be crazy. And then week 17 will end. We have the Bears. Packers have the Lions, so the Packers will win that game. It'll be funny to see how the NFC East shakes out. Cowboys and Redskins, you got another divisional game. It's just going to be Rams and Cardinals, and then week 17 you have the Seahawks and the 49ers.
Yeah,
that could very well decide the division.
That's a beautiful way to end the season right there for them.
And it's the last game on the schedule, so it's
exciting.
I'm
dude.
excited.
Yeah, it's fun.
There's 3 weeks left in the NFL, and it still could play out a million different ways.
I know.
I love it.
That's why while us talking about it right now, it's like exciting. It's like, well, this could all be different tomorrow.
Exactly.
Next week.
Exactly.
Right. But that's fun of it.
All right,
boss.
So join us next time on Dig Sideline Podcast. We'll be previewing the Vikings-Chargers game. Pat, I don't think that the Chargers are a team to sleep on. They just put 45 points up on the Jaguars. They beat the Packers earlier in the year. It's going to be a tough game, and it's in Los Angeles.
Yep.
So join us next time. We'll be discussing that game. And until then, Skol Vikings.
Thank you, everyone.